Well, alright. So now we have the dinosaurs' real voices. What they really sounded like. Okay? And it's gonna shock me and things like that because I'm thinking that they sounded completely different, but you gotta understand it's a sci fi thing for a reason. So these are what they, the scientists and everyone thought that these are what the similar sounds sounded like, which is all theories, speculations, and things like that because unless you're able to really see a dinosaur and be able to live amongst them and things like that, you're not able to find the voice in as it's fossilized. So this is what they are they discovered as far as the voices. So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna see what all these dinosaurs sounded like. All right. So what is that? That's a Arizonosaurus. A Arizonosaurus. I want y'all to know that I've never heard of quite a few of these dinosaurs. Most of them. So we're gonna see. So they're saying this is what their real voices sounded like. Ooh, scary. What's that? Herosaurus? Herosaurus? Oh man. Yeah, you'll probably have to check this out for yourselves, but I can't say these dinosaur names. They're wild. Sounded like a motorboat. It sounded like one of those little lawnmower or like motorboats that you would like have going across the ocean, something like that. So that one sounded like a motorboat, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad, even though I love dinosaurs, I'm glad that they're extinct because if they were here with us, we'd be the ones extinct. Is that a platosaurus? Man, these things sound so scary, man. It's wild. Oh my gosh. Woo! I'll tell you one thing. I definitely can give an idea of what a compy sounds like. The compies. They're not that far from the original sounds that they had in the movie, I think. But these are some. And who's to say? Because the world's only has been explored, and 5% of the world has been discovered, who's to say that these creatures aren't somewhere in the 6% or in a different part of the world that humans haven't discovered yet? So who knows? But that's a scary one. These things are terrifying, by the way. These compies, they're terrifying. That poor little girl. Poor little girl in the second one, man. Ah, but yeah, they sound awful and very terrifying. But yeah, kind of similar to how they sounded in the movie. So I kind of figured that. But yeah, there's no way that I thought the Dilophosaurus would sound like that. Never would I thought. Never would I thought. Ah, sounding demonic in that one. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Ah, Cera, Ceratosaurus, Ceratosaurus. Next one is Allosaurus. I can have an idea of what they sound like. So okay, I was wrong. Sound like a horn. A lot of these plant eaters are sounding like horns, but they kind of sounded like this in the movie too when you saw the Stegosaurus and things like that. So yeah, that sounded similar like they did in the movies. So I definitely would say that there is similarities in that one. So other than that, all these other ones I had no idea. So, but Stegosaurus is definitely sounding the same. They do that type of noise, especially the little babies, where they sound like little horns. So Brachiosauruses. Oh, wow, that is an interesting sound. Never in a million years would I thought something would sound like that. And you just hear, and they're in the ocean. You just hear some of the weirdest things down there. You know, they say that there's like a little blop bloop that when it goes bloop bloop, it'll sound just like, you know, the it literally sounds like a blop or a bloop that's in the ocean. That's like bloop bloop. You talk about terrifying sounds. That's one that if you can hear like a bloop bloop, down there in the ocean, look out. Look out and run for your life. Because those are some scary sounds that you're hearing down there that you don't even want to attempt or to even try to figure out what you what's going on down there. But man, it's a crazy one. These are part of the pterodactyl family. Pterodac pterodactylus, pterodactylus. These things are like ancient Greek. Oh, that sounds so interesting. The names. It looks like a pterodactyl. You know, no pterodactyl. Demoniasaurus, something like that. But it's very interesting how they can just put these sounds together, and they sound like ah. But yet again, it was all fossilized, so they're basically um, assuming that these are what they sound like. Nobody's completely 100% sure that these are actually what they really sounded like, but they have a pretty good idea that this is probably what it was and how it sounded, or very very close, to how it sounded. But you can't really detect the sound because they were all bones when they found them. Sweet Moses. That is terrifying. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Oh, yep. But that one, the pterodactyl one, that sounded more like what they had in the movie also. But that was wild. Wild. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know this one. They're like they go in like flocks. They're like flocks of birds, right? So if they, I don't know if this is what they really look like, but they like move kind of like birds do. So if any of these ones were to like adapt or evolve, and then I would say these were like probably dinosaurs that changed or maybe even turned into birds, and they just adapted and they still go in flocks and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, but these are the ones that are close to like flockings with birds and things like that. I think they showed them in a movie, but I've definitely did seen like a documentary on these ones. I think it's what Gallimimus, yeah, Gallimimus or something. I'd be shocked if anyone says these words the right way. These are literally long, very long dinosaurs. Like, oh my gosh. Look at this P word right here. What is this? Pachycepta halosaurus. Pachycepta halosaurus? I'm probably wrong. But a Pachycepta halosaurus, that is a long word to say. Oh my goodness. Oh, give me strength. That is a long word. Goodness gracious, man. That's wild. But yeah, so I know these dinosaurs. I've seen these dinosaurs in the movie, and I've seen like documentaries of these dinosaurs. By the way, these are like, you know how like goats and um, they use their heads to like pound. You do this, it'll kill you. This thing will kill a human being if they just ram you with their head. Like, yeah, it wasn't, and they definitely knocked them out in the movies. But in real life, they're coming at you full force. Look out! Look out! You better run. All right, now this one I've seen in the that was the Jurassic World one, the second one, um, Carnotaurus, Carnotaurus. So that one was also in that Disney. I think it was Disney that movie Dinosaur that came out in the 2000s. That was a good movie, by the way. I love that because I just had such a thing for dinosaurs. These uh, dinosaurs they scared me when I was a kid, but I didn't realize how small they were compared to the other dinosaurs. Like they're midgets compared to the other big carnivores and things like that. So I'm like, yeah, wow. But yeah, much has it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. But yeah, so this one is a weird one. So weird. I like how these dinosaurs were, how they sound, but it's similar to the movie. So, oh my gosh. So far, they're nothing what I thought they would be. Definitely not what I thought they would sound like. This is wild. I didn't know. I didn't know they sounded like this. I They sounded a lot louder. Now this one, they Parapsorlapius, something like that. They feel like this one's the most accurate because the noise comes from their head, which they discovered and pretty much used the noise. And it said that this one they feel like is the most accurate noise that they've had predicted of as far as all the dinosaurs are concerned. So, all right, that's Ankylosaurus. This is a car. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. I, I'm good at pronunciation and things like that, but this is a Carcharodontosaurus. Sweet Moses, give me strength. Argentinosaurus. Agitinosaurus. This is Pinacosaurus. Pinacosaurus. Terrifying, oh my goodness. Gargos. Uh, A Gargosaurus. Uh, a Dinosaur, and that was a Iguanodon, a Iagan, a Hiaganahadon. I don't even know. It sounds like you're speaking another language. A Dina, a Dinosaurus. I don't even know, yo. I can't do it. Uh, maybe I put all these in the Google pronunciation, and they can say it for me, so I can know. But right now, I've not. This is the one that I was talking about. When I was doing the Jurassic rankings and things like that. This is the um, plant eater that was in the movie that has the long arms. Uh, there, there is Xenosaurus. They said this They said this in the movie, by the way. A Therizinosaurus. Therizin. A Therizin. A Therizinosaurus. Sweet Moses, give me strength. Uh, Sounded nothing like in the movies, by the way. Nothing like in the movies. Nothing. All right, this is a Giganotara, Giga, a Gig, a Giganotosaurus. All right, Chronosaurus. Kind of looks like a dolphin. Like a Yeah, it looks like a dolphin with scary teeth. Looks like a dolphin. Oh, I can't wait until what the Velociraptor really sounds like. That's the only one that I can get right. This is my favorite dinosaur, Velociraptor. But I wanna know what the Velociraptor sounds like, so I'm excited for that one. That's how it sounded like. Really? Even that sounds terrifying. And what's this? A Utah raptor? Another raptor? So they basically sound like birds. Velociraptors and Etoraptors. Any type of raptor sounds like a bird, basically. So. All right, that's a Dryptosaurus. A Dryptosaurus. Alright, so y'all heard that one, right? It literally sounded like a human making an evil laugh. Like literally. It sounded like a human making an evil laugh. Like, yeah. Um maybe that's where they got it from. Sounded like muahaha. Muahaha. Oh my goodness. You can't tell me that does not sound like a human. Or maybe that's where the humans get the evil laugh from, and they use that in all the horror movies to scare the living. I tell you, this is something. As a Tyrannosaurus Rex, they sound like birds too. This one, but they don't have. This is interesting. It literally sounds like motors running. A high Huhyaganosaurus. Huhyaganosaurus. And this one's a Mosasaurus. I know that one. Like literally getting louder. Like man, that's a terrifying animal. Terrifying sounding. This is crazy. Now this is the one that I want to know because I told y'all that the Jurassic Park 3 is my second favorite movie next to um, Jurassic World, but I always wanted to know what an actual Spinosaurus sounded like because it sounded like pretty different in the movie than it'll probably do in real life. Plus, I didn't know that they were actually swimming dinosaurs, which makes sense because in the third Jurassic Park it was under the water swimming, and in the Rebirth it swam and it was a swim. And so I guess they're like swimming dinosaurs. That can also be on land. Sound like a sound like a woof 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 woof. Sound like a underwater dog. Like a huh. It literally sounded like a crying dog. Wow. Well, All right, so those are all the dinosaurs. That's the real how the dinosaurs really sounded. I'm like, wow, huh, interesting. Well, I tell you, that's an interesting one.